One of the most fascinating things that can happen in a lifetime is to witness the start of something truly dynamic, something that's going to make a difference. Even more exciting is the opportunity to be part of such an event. Some of us are lucky. We find ourselves in just that position. I'm one of those lucky people. I'm Skip LaFauve, and I'm president of Saturn Corporation.
Saturn really is an exciting place. I speak from experience. I've been part of Saturn from the beginning. I'm Joe Malotke, a UAW International representative and a member of Saturn's Strategic Action Council. Along with some of our fellow team members, we're here to tell you about Saturn. It's not easy to do this because Saturn is very different from most automobile companies.
Saturn is exploring the boundaries of imagination, setting a new direction in the American auto industry. Our message is simple. When we work together and rely on each other, we can accomplish great things. There's nothing as powerful as an idea whose time has come.
We could say that Saturn's committed to teamwork, and that would be right. We could say that Saturn respects and acknowledges the individual, and that would also be right. We could say that Saturn is searching to find the best design and manufacturing systems on this Earth, and that would be right.
Most of us say that Saturn is the best place we've ever worked. All of us say it's the most challenging. We're committed to Saturn because we believe in its values, its product, and in its people. One thing you need to know right now is that Saturn is not for everybody. It's a difficult, demanding place. We have many obstacles to face, conflicts to resolve, and questions to answer. We need good people to help us, but we need the right people.
Saturn is operating on the frontiers of progress. We're building on many varied and exciting levels, and we're building a new system of teamwork and partnership with the UAW. A world-class manufacturing complex, a highly efficient manufacturing process, a total quality system, and a car that's going to set new world standards for customer satisfaction.
To say we're determined or ambitious would be putting it mildly. We're dreaming a new American dream, and when that dream becomes a reality, there'll be a new chapter in American labor history. When Saturn's chapter is written, the American auto industry will be back on top in the world marketplace, and the American workplace will have a new look and a new life.
Saturn may be building on the frontiers, but we're building on strong foundations. We've established a corporate mission that clearly states our common goals: to market vehicles developed and manufactured in the United States that are world leaders in quality, cost, and customer satisfaction through the integration of people, technology, and business systems.
In line with the mission, Saturn has a corporate philosophy that will help us reach these goals. We believe that all people want to be involved in decisions that affect them, care about their jobs and each other, take pride in themselves and in their contributions, and want to share in the success of their efforts.
That same Saturn philosophy expresses a shared belief that meeting the needs of our customers, Saturn members, suppliers, dealers, and community is fundamental to fulfilling our mission. Instrumental in meeting those needs is, of course, the strength of the partnership between Saturn and the UAW. Our partnership means that the UAW is thoroughly integrated into the organizational structure and decision-making process.
By sharing the Saturn vision, we also share the real measures of power: responsibility, authority, accountability, and reward. The partnership sets us apart in other ways. You should know that the Saturn Memorandum of Agreement determines employment conditions for Saturn's UAW members. The provisions of the current or any subsequent GM UAW national agreements will not apply to Saturn unless specifically adopted by Saturn and UAW members.
Ours is an unpredictable world. For us to prosper, we've got to be able to accommodate change. In this regard, we've established a strong set of values to keep us stable in the midst of this change. At Saturn, we're putting our values to work. If you join us, you'll be asked to do the same in all your daily activities, and you'll discover that Saturn values make the difference.
Our first value is a commitment to customer enthusiasm. Every phase of Saturn's development process is customer-driven. From concept to dealer service, our aim is to deliver a product that far exceeds the customer's expectations. Saturn members must understand that everything they do is directly related to the ultimate quality of our product.
Our second value is a commitment to excel. This requires each team member to make a personal commitment to quality. We expect a great deal from our members. We ask them to take on new responsibilities, learn new skills, and develop their special talents. We ask them to reach.
A commitment to teamwork is the third of our Saturn values and is fundamental to our philosophy and organizational structure. Saturn is operating as a fully integrated team of marketing, design, and manufacturing specialists, supporting our highly efficient production processes. In the Saturn complex, you'll experience a unique system of flexible, team-oriented assembly, and you'll have widely expanded job functions. In this environment, teamwork is crucial.
Our fourth value goes right along with our commitment to teamwork. This value states that Saturn will trust and respect the individual. Saturn will succeed or fail on the efforts and abilities of its people. We plan to empower these people with all the knowledge, support, and resources they need to do their very best work.
The last Saturn value circles back to the other four. This fifth value is a commitment to continuous improvement. This means if there is a better way to do it, we've got to find it. In line with this fifth value, Saturn is committed to training team members in the skills of the future, supporting them in their individual development efforts, and rewarding them for superior performance.
As you can see, Saturn is a different kind of company. The challenges we face are difficult and complex, and our corporate culture demands energy, commitment, dedication, and hard work. The standards we set for our people are very high, but no higher than the level of quality our customers expect from us in the products we will produce. More than anything, Saturn is a place of tremendous potential. As an organization and as individuals, we have the opportunity here for a new beginning.
January 8th, 1985, General Motors and the UAW announced the formation of Saturn Corporation, GM's first new nameplate since Chevrolet in 1918. Saturn's goal of beating the competition at their own game with a world-class American UAW workforce catches the attention of the entire country. Immediately, a nationwide competition to land the brand new, from the ground up, Saturn complex begins. Governors from around the country visit GM with polished presentations and financial incentive packages. The Saturn vision is of jobs, and an expanding economy attracts. Virtually everyone wants to be part of the excitement. In July, the Site Selection Committee announces that the Saturn Manufacturing Complex will be located in Spring Hill, Tennessee, some 30 miles south of Nashville. So, if you join the Saturn team, Tennessee is part of your decision. Saturn didn't just choose a tract of land in a certain spot. Saturn chose a culture, a commitment, in fact, a quality of life for its team members.
But we feel that Tennessee and Spring Hill is the best place for us to be in to accomplish what we have to accomplish. We feel that if we're going to reach our vision for Saturn, and if we're going to beat the competition with our vehicles, that Spring Hill, Tennessee gives us a tremendous advantage.
And every day that I spend down there, I can see the values and the things about Tennessee, why Saturn chose it. And I say, hey, they made the best decision they could have. The way the people relate to us, the friendliness, the willingness to help in any way.
Saturn is building today and shaping its tomorrows with the help of the state and the people of Tennessee. We are preserving the land and its history in every way possible, and we look forward to a long and bright future in Spring Hill and the surrounding area.
I envision the Saturn Spring Hill community to be like one happy family. We're going into them telling them that we can't do it by ourselves, that we need you to help us, and we want them to be our partners.
Each day, more Saturn team members make their home in Tennessee. We'd like to share our excitement and give you just a little taste of Saturn's Tennessee home.
Life in Tennessee, Tennessee's not heaven, but I believe that you'd have to die to get any closer.
Tennesseans take great pride in their state, their land, and their uniqueness. They have a heritage they want to both preserve and share. Tennessee is a mixture of past and future, Grand Ole Opry and rock and roll, large urban centers and quiet country towns, family farms, and 21st century industry. Saturn will be sharing its corporate leadership with other major companies located in the area. For many Saturn members, a move to Spring Hill will mean a change in lifestyles. And with this change may come some apprehensions and concerns.
I was quite concerned about a number of things in the South. First of all, the racial climate, the general area in which the plant was located, and just about finding adequate housing in the South. But since I've been on board here at Saturn, I've gone down and I've searched for housing. I've had an opportunity to talk to several of the people in the area that I think I will locate, and a lot of concerns have pretty much been resolved. So I feel very comfortable with moving to the South now.
I'd say that one of the biggest adjustments they'll have is adjusting to the slow pace of life. The people just don't get in that big a hurry down there. They may live longer too by slowing down.
I think Tennessee is going to offer us a real opportunity to improve the UAW's image. Certainly, I think everyone knows it's a right-to-work state, and I've had opportunity to spend quite a bit of time in Tennessee, and I've been treated, I think, as a Tennessean, and I'm about as northern as you can get, I think. Tennessee culture and Tennessee people are extraordinary.
And it's an altogether different lifestyle. But I really believe that people coming in there that's from this area and haven't been there before really enjoy it. It's a different lifestyle and it's fascinating.
The Tennessee lifestyle is filled with diversity. Tennesseans value their distinctive American musical history, their strong religious roots, and their state's progressive movement to the future. Culture in Tennessee means everything from theater and the arts, to the Hank Williams Museum, to Vanderbilt University, to Dollywood, to boating and fishing, and church socials.
The experience in Tennessee from a lifestyle is that Tennessee and the Nashville area has something to offer for everyone. It has hunting and fishing in the rural atmosphere that many people prefer, as well as a cosmopolitan city.
From its bustling cities to picturesque countrysides, Tennesseans are likely to identify themselves by county and area of the state. Spring Hill is located in Murray County in Middle Tennessee. South of the Spring Hill community is Columbia, the county seat, a larger city of around 27,000, offering a state college and many other facilities. Approximately 40% of Murray County's population lives in rural areas. For people seeking an urban environment, Nashville, just 30 miles north of Spring Hill, offers a cosmopolitan alternative. Saturn's location in Spring Hill will have a significant impact on the entire region. By working hand in hand with the community, Saturn will make this transition as comfortable as possible.
It also offers us an opportunity, I think, to say something to the community in terms of how we're going to go about business. That we're certainly not just going to come in and try to run the show, and that the community has some stakes and equities in terms of what's going on, and that we are, in fact, asking them for their help and their assistance in how we might best to assimilate into that process.
I've told the community down there that as UAW people, we're no different than anyone else. We have interest in our communities. We've been involved in our communities where we come from. And all we want is a good way of life for our families. And in that respect, we're no different than anyone else.
As a Saturn team member, you'll have many choices in Tennessee. You can investigate 90-acre farms or check out condominiums in Nashville. Within a 50-mile radius of the Saturn complex, you'll be able to find virtually any type of housing. If you can't find the perfect house, perhaps now is the time to build the home you've always wanted.
For their own benefit, they owe it to themselves to explore the possibility, what's it going to be like for me? Folks that do that find a certain comfort level around Nashville, around Columbia, around Franklin, Spring Hill. Those all offer different things, from 5 acres in the countryside to a condo. Depends what your style of life is. I think it's got it all to offer.
Many Saturn team members have already found a home in Tennessee, taking advantage of the diverse housing opportunities in the Spring Hill region. Currently, Saturn families are settling in Lewisburg, Nashville, Spring Hill, Franklin, Columbia, Brentwood, and nearly everywhere in between. Anywhere you locate in Tennessee, you'll find evidence that the state's multi-million-dollar educational excellence program is working. For the past several years, the state's commitment to comprehensive improvement of its elementary and secondary schools has made Tennesseans proud. The residents and government can point to higher test scores and higher ratings of school systems throughout the state. But not everything's back to the books. After work comes play, and the outdoors attracts thousands virtually year-round. Tennessee has a temperate climate with an occasional winter snowfall and hot, steamy summers. You'll find nearly any recreational activity you can ask for here. Both recreation and social life in Tennessee are often centered around the large number of local churches. From baptisms to picnics to dances, Tennesseans use their churches every day, not just Sundays.
Tennessee in the South has always intrigued me somewhat. As I've been down there 3 or 4 times, I think that the pace of life is a little slower. I like that, and I very much like the religious tone of the community.
Folks in Tennessee, good, honest, decent people, put a lot of value on their word. A lot of activities centered around church. Just an outstanding place to live.
land around Spring Hill is not just devoted to the Saturn site. State parks abound, and Tennesseans enjoy everything from stock car racing to Tennessee walking horses to tours of some of the state's most beautiful antebellum homes. And speaking of the Saturn site, when was the last time you saw a manufacturing facility with its own southern mansion? Saturn is preserving not one, but 2 landmark homes on its property. Of course, you'll also find a mile-long, half-mile-wide manufacturing complex on this rolling landscape. Both the exterior and the interior of the Saturn complex will reflect the pleasant atmosphere of the Spring Hill area.
When people challenge me about the design of the facility and how it's going to be different from past facilities, I tell them that along with the Saturn experts and the Argonaut experts, we can't go wrong. We're pulling these teams together, getting feedback from both people, and we got a really good group of experts together to build this facility. It's going to be different.
Well, the Saturn plant's going to differ from the normal General Motors facility in the fact that we're introducing a lot of color into the floor and the wall materials. Translucent panels are introduced into the wall, into the ceiling system to provide natural light, to help bring a pleasant environment for the Saturn team members to work in.
Well, the plant is going up in early '88. We'll be beginning to install equipment in powertrain, and by the end of '89, all the equipment will be installed.
When the Saturn complex is complete, you'll find an administration and training facility, visitors reception center, and numerous other special features which support Saturn's vision and values. We're working to preserve the environment of our new home. You'll be able to catch only glimpses of the Saturn complex from the road. Saturn has built special berms of earth to preserve the integrity of the land and its appearance.
And that was our first goal, and by selections of colors and materials that we're using on the site, we are able to make the site appear that it belongs in Tennessee, as opposed to a typical building or manufacturing facility that's so overpowering in the community. We tend to blend in and meld into the community much better.
This really is awesome. Never seen anything as big as this. Never seen anything quite seen. Look at the whole. But then you stop and think that this is really what the world will see of Saturn. And it really has to be what Saturn stands for. It has to be an effective design. It's going to be very, very beautiful, but it's going to blend into the landscape that we've so dedicated ourselves to protecting. That it's going to be a place that we're all going to really be proud of.
In Tennessee, you can have it all. Natural beauty, a gracious Southern heritage, an urban or rural lifestyle, and a commitment to basic values and new beginnings. The Saturn family will join the people of Tennessee to meet the challenges and explore the opportunities of the 21st century. Welcome to Tennessee.
In this presentation, we will cover Saturn's compensation system, the benefits offered, and training plans for those who are hired to work at Saturn. The elements covered here are taken from the Memorandum of Agreement reached between Saturn and the UAW. First, the compensation system. Saturn's compensation system is based on the concept of risk and reward. Everyone at Saturn takes the risk, and everyone at Saturn shares the reward. This system may sound ideal to those who want a chance to control part of what they earn. But consider the flip side, knowing that part of your income will always be at risk. How do you feel about this? Can you and your family accept the risk and reward concept? Before you answer that, let's examine this area of compensation in some detail. To begin, Saturn's workforce is salaried. UAW technicians are not paid by the hour. Within this salaried structure, the base compensation rates apply for what is called the bridging period. The bridging period lasts from now until 1 year after the production of the first saleable Saturn vehicle. Following this bridging period, we enter what we refer to as steady state. The start of steady state is now estimated to begin in the year 1991. When the bridging period ends and the steady state begins, the risk-reward concept becomes reality. At this point, all Saturn members have their income split into a base salary portion and an at-risk portion. We'll expand on those items in a moment. But first, during the bridging period, when base rate compensation remains unchanged, total compensation for Saturn members is comparable to that of other GM UAW employees. By that, we mean, in addition to base compensation, you would continue to receive COLA and certain other compensations paid to GM UAW employees. This will be paid to you on a quarterly basis throughout the bridging period. When steady state begins, the base compensation of Saturn members will be adjusted to 80% of the straight-time wages, base plus Saturn's UAW-represented domestic automobile competitors for comparable jobs. This includes GM, Chrysler, Ford, NUMMI, and others. We'll cover that other 20% in a moment. But first, let's take a look at base rates and job classifications. Represented members are divided into a small number of classifications for Saturn's Tennessee plant. The largest classification group is operating technician. The operating technician classification pays an annual base salary of about $28,000 during the bridging period. The next classification is trades technician. A trades technician classification pays an annual base salary of about $32,000 during the bridging period. Once the bridging period has expired and steady state begins, you recall that the base compensation now is adjusted to 80% of the straight-time wages, base plus COLA. The remaining 20% of your pay is what is called at risk. However, based on Saturn's overall performance, you can earn back that at-risk 20% and more. The performance-based reward system is explained in complete detail later in the hiring process. But for now, bear in mind that any reward system is likely to include such business factors as Saturn performance to objectives, achievement of specific productivity targets, and some measure of Saturn product quality. Saturn will also have its own profit-sharing plan for all members. As a group, all team members, represented and non-represented, will have their own team performance measured against preset standards. Of course, our customers will have the final say. When they buy Saturn products, we'll earn a profit for ourselves, Saturn, and GM. Along with these new elements of Saturn's reward system, there are also provisions for overtime, holiday pay, vacation, and other elements of compensation. Your GM length of service is taken into account for vacations and certain benefit plan applications. In addition to the compensation plan, Saturn offers its own job security approach. Saturn does not have a traditional seniority system, which means if you join Saturn, you'll be breaking your UAW GM seniority. You cannot go back to your plant. There are no recall rights. At Saturn, teams decide many issues that traditionally were decided purely by seniority. Saturn recognizes that without a traditional seniority cushion, your job security is even more important. And in this regard, Saturn members will enjoy extraordinary job security because Saturn is committed to preventing layoffs. Saturn teams will work to find ways to adjust to economic fluctuations to avoid layoffs. The Saturn Memorandum of Agreement addresses the issue of how Saturn will deal with job security. What else does Saturn offer beyond salary? And Saturn teams have developed an innovative, comprehensive benefits package which includes such important items as a savings plan, where the company matches a portion of your savings, a full health care plan, life insurances, disability, and a pension plan. Full details of the benefits package are covered later in the hiring process. With regard to your work environment, Saturn combines respect for what people do with the application of high technology to beat the competition. Individual jobs will reflect the best balance between people and technology. For instance, Saturn will not have robots for robots' sake. A machine never had a good idea or figured out a new way of saving time and money. What about you and Saturn training? As a Saturn employee, you'll be trained to handle your job functions as well as any other necessary skills. The training starts when you join and continues as long as you work at Saturn. The goal is to make Saturn members the world's best workforce. Right now, teams of represented and non-represented members are developing a complete training program designed as an ongoing training system. All Saturn members will be trained when they join and will spend at least 5% of their time at Saturn in training at steady state. This is costly in dollars and time, but far less costly than the alternative. Saturn's training is competency-based. You train at your own level and pace. You spend the necessary time to learn a new skill and perform it successfully. No more, no less. Another major concern is relocation. When you go to work for Saturn in Tennessee, you will receive a relocation assistance amount. That amount depends on your family status and distance to the new site. In addition, Saturn will provide you with assistance through a team of skilled relocation specialists to help you in all phases of your move. Saturn Corporation has made a major commitment of people and resources to create the smoothest relocation process possible. Relocation is difficult, but we're working hard to make the move easier for Saturn members and their families. You've heard about Saturn's plans for you. Now, how to apply. The information you need is contained in the application package you receive. What you receive is far more than an application. The package includes a variety of materials designed to help you decide if Saturn is right for you, along with details about the selection process. The Saturn screening process means a lot of involvement and effort from you. That's because each person that is selected for Saturn represents both a valuable team member and a valued family member. Each member's contribution is critical to Saturn's success. So Saturn's selection process will be different from any you may have known before. At each point where you have contact with Saturn, we'll provide you with as much information as possible, including specific facts about Saturn benefits, the reward system, and other information you need to move further. All of this will enable you to answer the question, is Saturn right for me? Team members are hired as needed, and they will continue to be added as we build toward start of production. You should apply for Saturn team member openings whether you're presently employed or laid off. Saturn has needs for people with a wide variety of backgrounds and experience, so you can be assured that each application will be considered carefully. Remember, the hiring team will look at you as a person with experience to offer, whether you're presently employed or laid off, and whether you have 3 years or 23 years seniority. If you think the Saturn Challenge might be for you, you're welcome to apply. So there you have it, a brief look at the compensation and benefits, as well as training and other significant programs offered to those who join Saturn.
Don't kid yourself, we're working very hard here at Saturn towards our goal of 1990 and beyond.
Working here at Saturn is very exciting. I get to do something different every day.
We work hard at Saturn, but the working atmosphere is better.
Put this clamp on, ship to school. We engineers are comfortable working with the Saturn technicians who bring in hands-on experience to the job.
Saturn is a bold beginning. It's a daring new path. It's challenge and opportunity, risk and reward. Saturn is people and teamwork, quality and innovation. It's partnership and trust, hard work and accomplishment. Saturn is breakthrough technology for a world-class car. It's American know-how and pride. Saturn is the future. Saturn speaks for itself.
The most positive thing I see at Saturn is you've got everybody going in the same direction. You've got a chance for folks to use all their God-given talents, to be creative, and to go places they've never really been before. I equate it to pioneers of old. I equate it to astronauts in the present and in the future. We're plowing new ground, and we're doing it in America.
This was the beginning of a whole new way of doing business. A whole new way of doing business in the United States, to make the United States worldwide competitive, and to make America feel proud again about its products and its people and its own capabilities.
Saturn represents a challenge to, I think, all represented and non-represented people, because it is a hope for the future, but it's not something that will happen. It requires the active participation of everyone who comes here.
And I think that's really what Saturn is all about, where people are trying to fulfill on the vision of what Saturn should be. And every day is a challenge to keep that vision in front of us, and can't always necessarily meet that vision, but the challenge is to always keep trying.
The environment at Saturn, the climate at Saturn, the culture at Saturn is one that permits an outflowing of creativity, an opportunity to be bold, an opportunity to be innovative, an opportunity to be creative. And when those kinds of situations are present, we can accomplish anything.
We all have a vision here at Saturn, but a lot of that falls on the shoulders of the technicians to make that a reality. It's going to take a lot of hard-earned effort, in a lot of ways, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
We're going to be building a car. We're going to be building a people system. We're going to be building new technology. It's a mix of a lot of things that are going on simultaneously.
At Saturn, we share a common vision of a workplace based on trust. Our members operate in an atmosphere of open and honest communication. In this competitive marketplace, our survival depends on our ability to work together. At Saturn, we are proving that we can do it.
We cannot continue working the way we have in the past. You know, the management UAW, us and them, a house divided will fall. And we've either got to work together or we're going to fall.
The people who are here have never done this before. And we've got new alliances, new partnerships. The UAW is in a very proactive role with Saturn. The technicians that are here now and the technicians that will come on board will find that they're involved in decisions that they've never been involved in before. Their input will be very important. It'll be strategic. It'll also be critical to the success of Saturn.
At Saturn, it's not them and us. It's a total partnership program. We have the same risk as everybody else. We take pride in taking on that risk. We're part of this corporation. We're not just a workforce, we are part of it.
The fact remains that we are a union company, and the UAW will have its identity, it will have a strong voice in decision-making, and we will provide its members and the Saturn organization with a significant competitive advantage.
The memorandum of agreement between General Motors and the UAW
is a living document because it is an open agreement. Traditionally, they bargain over a 3-year contract. In Saturn, if the agreement needs to be improved or there's a problem with it, we can sit down and change it just then. We don't prolong and wait for the contract to end.
Everyone is working together in different teams, and someone who joined our team recently made the comment that they couldn't tell who was a UAW member and who wasn't. And I thought that was a really important comment because it tells me that we are working together well.
I think it's the survival of the auto industry and a lot of other companies by the union and the managements joining together and doing this. So I feel I bring a big part to the party to help that happen, and that'll be worth it all to me, just to say someday that I was part of changing it.
It's the people and the people's relationship to each other and their understanding of what this is all about that really makes the difference. And Saturn's going to prove that over and over again.
Teamwork is fundamental to the Saturn vision. Working in teams is both demanding and exciting. It means that everyone has a responsibility to contribute, that everyone shares the risks and rewards, and that people have a voice in issues that affect them. Teamwork means that Saturn is not just the company, it's our company.
The team concept here at Saturn it'll either make you or break you. If you're not prepared to accept it and you don't come into the group with the idea that you're willing to listen to other people or make other people listen to you, it will probably be the greatest form of frustration you'll have here at Saturn.
Teamwork is as critical and as basic to Saturn as the car itself is. If we can't do this operation from the standpoint of a team environment, one that is mutually supportive of each other, team members who are looking out for the well-being of other team members who are playing off the ideas of other members and so forth, then Saturn will become nothing more than another assembly or plant operation.
We don't expect everybody to come in with all the skills. That's why we have, I feel, the best training programs right now anywhere, and that's to bring people up to speed and help people to be able to work in the Saturn environment in a team concept.
People will work in teams. We mean that the team will be responsible for getting the job done. They will be responsible for their own quality, their cost, meeting production schedules, making sure that the products that they produce and pass on to their next customer, the next operation in building the car, will be perfect every time. And they'll also be responsible for continually improving that product and taking cost out so that we can continue to meet and beat our competition.
The shared compensation rewards activities are going to be very important to all members of Saturn. Thereby you eliminate distinction. There will be a situation that every person can stop and say to themselves, if I personally want to increase my wealth, that means that my contribution to the team has to be as much directed towards success as possible and as a total unit.
Saturn is not for everyone. Success at Saturn means teamwork. If you can't be comfortable as part of a team, Saturn is not for you. In the Saturn team, we need people who are willing to take risks, to accept responsibility, and to achieve their personal best.
If you aren't totally committed to coming to Saturn from the standpoint of feeling that you have something to contribute to make this a successful company and for you to share in that success, if you're anywhere shy of that standard, then this is not the place for you.
Saturn will be different from other General Motors plants from the standpoint that it is an organization that are people-driven. You have the opportunity to be the best you can because there are always opportunities to improve yourself based on training and equal opportunity.
Saturn to me means a whole new way of life. It means that I have the opportunity to do things working for GM as a represented person that I've never had the opportunity to do before and really never thought that I would have the chance to do.
Within Saturn, we would expect teams to discipline their own, so to speak. It's a very, very important step in our mission and philosophy that says that people are expected to do well, and if they're not doing well, your team members and your peers are expected to help you improve your own performance.
World-class quality at Saturn is, from an operating technician standpoint, translates into specific measures against which operators will be measured against for performance and other things. And the key is that we have input into exactly what those measures are.
And as the compensation program becomes effective here at Saturn, part of our salaries will be at risk. The salary will be at risk from the standpoint that if Saturn is not successful, then you can't expect to be successful. But if Saturn is successful, then that part of your salary that is at risk will be more than what you could have attained within a traditional environment.
Well, you better be ready for change. You better be ready for commitment and high intensity. And if this is more than you want to give, it's not for you.
Saturn has a very comprehensive training program that will provide new members the opportunity to improve their skills and ability. One of the programs that we have is an individualized training plan, which is sort of a roadmap. They map out what they need, and Saturn will provide the training so that they have the skills and the knowledge to do the job.
It's a risk just joining Saturn. I know, especially for represented people, you have to quit General Motors. And like me, I had 22 years of service and seniority in my plant. I mean, that's a gamble.
I would look anyone in the eye and tell them, if you're looking for an organization to join, which really considers people as the most valuable asset to produce the best world-class vehicle in the world, then you've come to the right place if you decide to hire into Saturn. Nothing worthwhile is ever easy. The challenges can seem overwhelming and the time too brief. Saturn requires tremendous commitment and perseverance. Sometimes it means frustration, and always hard work.
Saturn's not Disneyland. Saturn's reality. Saturn's people working very, very hard to produce a product that will sell in the marketplace and ensure their livelihoods. That's what Saturn is all about. And that's a tough reality sometimes. And the closer we get to start a production, the tougher it gets.
Now, you need to be creative. You need to push to the limits. Think. Try. Sometimes you fail. Frustrating, very frustrating. But you've got to be somebody that you go home at the end of the day and you come back all charged up. Well, okay, today's another day. Well, let's give it another go.
I can put in 12 hours a day without even realizing what day it is. The days go by so quick. There's times I don't have lunch, and I don't even realize that I missed lunch. It's already 3 o'clock.
While we say that it's a non-traditional environment, we all work for someone. There is someone there to provide leadership to us. We work on teams, and generally there is a leader of that team.
At Saturn, there is no comfort zone. Literally, we say to people that if you have a comfort zone, when you come to Saturn, you have come to the wrong place.
The most negative thing working at Saturn is the outside people looking in. Not Saturn. It's all little punches and views you get because you work here. A lot of people out there want us to fall. We're going to have to prove them all wrong.
Sometimes you're putting in many, many hours. Myself personally, I don't spend the kind of time with my family that I would like to be able to. I feel that my family's making a sacrifice and that I'm making a sacrifice, but I think it's for a worthwhile effort.
I feel good at the end of the day. I feel good getting them going to work in the morning. Haven't felt that in a long time. I look forward to coming because I work with good people. I deal with good people all day long, and I feel like I accomplished something at the end of the day, which is important.
Saturn speaks for itself through the dreams and dedication of its people. Saturn brings out the best in us. There is an understanding here that what we are doing is important, that it will make a difference, that it will make us proud.
We hope to be the model. That one day my kid, as they review in history books and look at new corporate structures and they look at the formulation of organizations, I hope that they are able to turn to a chapter on Saturn Corporation. This is all the newness. This is the only corporation right now which brings together all the new engineering developments in the industry, along with the people changes and the business changes. So I think in that sense, Saturn has to be the model for the future.
From my heart, Saturn means to me my family's security and my boys being able to go through school and being what they want to be. This is a good opportunity for a young person. It's a good opportunity for anybody. And anybody that passes it up, I think should really review it before they say no.
Working for future generations of what a corporation should look like. Focusing on the people on the plant floor, letting them have a say in the business. Saturn is a lot of things to me, but more or less it's the emphasis that it has on the people.
We have the opportunity here at Saturn to take all of the great things that are being done in General Motors right today, all those great things, and pull them into one place here at Saturn. And we'd have nothing in our way.
There's some folks that think that the American people are really innovative. Wait until Saturn hits the road. We'll show you how really innovative the American workforce is.
The commitment of everyone coming to Saturn is to make the best possible quality car in the world, not just within General Motors, but in the world. And we are committed to that, and we're going to meet that goal.
In 1990, when that car rolls off the line, I'm going to feel very proud. I've been a part of Saturn since 1983. It's a part of me, and I've worked awfully hard for it. Roger B. said he's going to have the first car. I'm going to have one of the first 25 cars.
When I see that first vehicle roll off the end of that line, it will have really culminated all the years I've spent in the labor movement. To see a vehicle built with a people system that we've put together to really show the world that we can, and American workers can build a car to compete with anyone in the world.
In 1990, when we run the first car off the assembly line, I hope I can be standing there waving my hand saying that I've been a part of something that is going to set to turn this world around in regards of being competitive and bringing jobs back to this country.
When that car first rolls off the line, I'm going to be very, very excited because we've accomplished a task that we've worked very, very hard for. It'll be an esprit moment, and I think we'll have one heck of a celebration when that happens.
In this presentation, we have given you an idea of what it's like to be part of the Saturn team. We have also given you the basic information you need to make a decision on joining us. Making that decision will not be an easy one. You and your family will have to do some hard thinking and soul searching before you could make this life-changing commitment. Bear in mind that Saturn has its roots in the traditions of progress set by GM and the UAW. We are all part of the same extended family. Whatever you decide, we wish you every success and good fortune.
For us, the word Saturn has many meanings. It's the excitement of meeting the competitive challenge with an exceptional product and a new American standard of quality. It's the thrill of building a true partnership among people who know this business better than anybody. It's the pride of American workers showing the world we're still the best. It's the challenge of creating a new workplace based on trust and aiming for excellence. In the final analysis, Saturn is what we make it. With the right people, Saturn will be a place where we build with our hearts as well as our hands. It's been a pleasure being with you today. Thank you and good luck.